Alright everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Lemax Dead Man's Point. Let's get into it. Okay, so Dead Man's Point came out in 2007 and was retired in 2014, and let me tell you, popular wouldn't even begin to describe the success of this piece. This was something special, and for some reason today, all these years later, it's still very well thought after and wanted and adored by collectors all around the world. Like, this one is the gift that keeps on giving. And I'll be honest, for a while I didn't really understand what all the hype was about and why so many people paid so much money for it, and like, it didn't light up, it didn't have animation, it didn't do anything, it just sat there. Like, what could be so great about it? Well, today we're gonna answer that question with no doubt. So starting with some dimensions, we have 9.84 inches high, 12.09 inches wide, and 9.06 inches deep. So even though it may not look like it, this thing is huge. And that's partly why it's remained so popular. There's going to be another major reason that we're going to talk about in a second, but let me tell you, the sizing is probably the biggest surprise, I think, and let me tell you something, I've opened a lot of houses, and some that blew me away on how big they were. This one definitely probably was the biggest surprise. It looks like a small table accent on the box, but let me tell you, it's not even close. This thing is a show in itself. So moving on, when they came out, it was about $39.99, and honestly, for what it looked like on the box, it was, you know, priced appropriately. $40, didn't do much. Okay, looking back, this easily could have been a $70 piece, $69.99, something like that, maybe even slightly more. It was totally worth it, but now they're going for about $150 to $200. So 40 was a pretty killer deal. And if you can ever snag one for 40, 50 bucks, you better buy it, no question. So anyways, let's continue on. So like I told you earlier, there is two, I think, main reasons why this thing is as popular as it is. So first one being that it is way, way bigger than you would ever imagine that it was. I remember just grabbing the box, I was like, this can't be right, there's just no way. But anyways, it is. And the second reason, and probably the sole reason that it's as big as it is today in collecting and, you know, pirate themed and water dock themes, all that kind of stuff, hands down, the detail. And I know in other videos I say all the time, oh, look at the detail, look at the detail. No. This one has detail literally in every wave that's crashing against the rock, every piece of water, I mean, you can see the flow in the water, all of that, every single, look at, there's like a million lines just in the water alone. So I want to show you, this piece is like the king of detail. And we're going to start from the top and kind of work our way down here, but just, I want you to really appreciate the time that it must have took to really sculpt this one out. Like, every rock has such detail and depth to it, like, it looks so real. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's start from the top, shall we? So we're gonna start with the treasure chest, there we go. Treasure chest skeletons, and as you can see, they are hitting gold. They are rich. Look at him go. I mean, he's pushing it up the hill, but hey, wouldn't you? I mean, look at that. That's killer. But right, look at that. There's detail literally in the treasure chest. Gosh, I'm never gonna say that right. But anyways, let's look at the sign. It says, "Churn ye back." Yes, Y-E, hopefully you can see that, churn ye back. And the one right below it, of course, the hub of everything. Dead Man's Point. Yes, it is perfect for this, right? I mean, look, he's steering the ship, and there's not even a ship, right? The ship is down here crashed, but somehow he ended up there just, I don't know, maybe he's driving the rock. I don't know, but it's so cool. They use their animation, their imagination on this piece. It's just perfect. So anyway, let's keep moving on. There's so much to see. Hopefully you can also see, gosh, you can hear my excitement. All the detail in the rock there. Of course, another sign. I think it says danger. The next thing I'd like to show you is the shipwreck itself. So again, detail, perfect angle. You can see that it's came up and hit the rock and it is sinking. And, you know, some of us are still holding on, but it looks like the octopus is going to come finish the job. Also, shout out to the Octo Squeeze for a second. I don't know why, but they feel somewhat similar. I'm not sure if it's the same color paint or something. I don't know. It just felt like a shout out to the Octo Squeeze was necessary, and I do not have one, but whenever I do get one, hopefully someday we'll be able to do a review just like this one. But anyway, so also a part of the ship, you're gonna see the kind of the flags or the masses. Or mast in this case, there's only one, my apologies. Of course, we have the lookout and another little cool flag. The next thing I wanted to show you was the small ship that is just cruising, but there's a problem. Yes, the shark, he's coming out of the water. Again though, look at the detail, every tooth. I mean, my gosh, it's everywhere. Now, yes, they're in trouble, but from our view, it's pretty cool, right? So anyways, right down to the skeletons themselves, of course, I wanted to show you even their faces have detail. That is why this piece is so popular. And hopefully you can see this in the camera, but the rocks are also just extremely well done. Also floating in the water is some stuff from the shipwreck itself. We have a guy holding on to one of the old boards and looks like a barrel there. You know, just all kinds of stuff is just kind of hanging out in the water here. So there's no question that this is dangerous water. And there found our other mast. So there is two actually. There it is right there hiding. But anyways, guys, look, this one is totally worth adding to any village, and it would be the hub of any pirate scene or set that you would do. Imagine teaming it up with everything from the pirate ships to the islands of doom, or the island of doom, or Isle of Doom rather. Anyways, there's just so much possibility and options for this piece. And now the main question, which I think a lot of people have had, is why no lighting? Like, why no soundtrack? Like, how do you make it work? Well, I'm gonna give you a little secret to that next. So, but first, I wanted to also show you the backside of this, just so you can see that detail in the rock. So let me go ahead and spin it around here for you. Get you a couple different views. So again, looking at the rock, I mean, even on the back where nobody ever sees anything, you can see the amount of detail that was put into it. It's just, I don't know, guys, there's just something about this one that really was just well done. You can see they put a lot of time into this. I mean, look at the paint job. Everything from the dark to the light to the mixture of the colors to just... there's just a lot to see here, guys. So I really hope, though, through all of my chit-chatting here, that you got the point that it really is a beautiful piece and a must-have for absolutely any village. So I want to end by dimming the lights like we normally would do, but I want to show you a little trick. So again, being in the same boat as, well, it doesn't light up, it doesn't have any sound, how am I going to make it pop in my village? Well, for that, I'd like to introduce you to a water light, or a mermaid light, I think is the technical name for this actual light sitting here. I purchased it off Amazon. I believe it was like 20 bucks, and it's called a mermaid light. But truthfully, the technical term would be a water light. And there's a bunch of different kinds. They're no different than those like pinpoints, pinpoint lights you get from Spirit Halloween. You know, they're like change colors. Some look like fire, like that orange and red. Others are like, you know, blue and green, like water, and they kind of spin. You know, there's all sorts of those things out there. And they don't have to spin. You could just do a basic pin spot or just some kind of small light that's not overly bright. But I'm going to recommend some form of a water light. Now, you could do, you know, the colors of fire if you wanted. But in today's video, I'm going to do kind of just more of like a water themed kind of color. And the only thing I'm trying to show you here, guys, is that creativity goes a long ways. So we're going to take this piece and I'm going to show you what it looks like by just adding this small effect on top of it. And you're going to see that it really brings it to life. So when you have something in your village that just needs a little extra help to sparkle like the diamond that you know that it is, that's where something like this would come out. So anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to support my channel. I'm going to go ahead and hit the lights here, but please, please, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It means the world to me, and I'll see you on the next one.